Welcome back to The Watch, and Doctor Who is, it's beyond dead now. Now they're just desecrating the corpse of Doctor Who with this new version of it. I, luckily, have only seen muted clips of it, and that was enough for me to go, I cannot handle this abomination. It would harm me mentally too much to try and watch that.
Yeah, me and Tara, when we were doing laptop stuff for business reasons or whatever, we stumbled across your Twitter, which had that saved. And I was too curious. I had to watch it.
There's the song.
Oh, shit!
What are they doing?
Also, the head writer, whoever's in charge, I forget his name, but he's the most insufferable human being right now. Always talking about how, like with the Daleks situation, we can't have a guy in a wheelchair because that's too problematic in this day and age. You've got to remove someone's disability to make them look stronger. Like, it's so many things here.
Because it's ableist. It's so dumb.
They're so out of touch with the rest of the world.
I mean, this woke nonsense is already gone off the rails. It's insanity to the point where, having an evil character in a wheelchair is ableist. It's just like, they are just... It's Clown World. They've gone insane. And it goes even further. There is stuff... Oh, my gosh. Sorry, let's get back to Doctor Who. So... They are leaning into the LGBT representation in this to the extreme, to a level that's obnoxious, basically. Like, Doctor Who has had kind of LGBT nods. Captain Jack is a best example, right? And he worked because they actually kind of couched it in the sense that he's from the future and people from the future just are into other alien species, so he's basically into everything. Yeah. And the line from Doctor Who when he was describing, he says, so many species, so little time. And it's like, all right, fine, that's where he comes from, that's his character, and he has the hots for everyone, basically. And so it was kind of, hidden. It had that bit of representation, but not fully.
It was very tame, but it was also very, to the side. It was just part of his character. It wasn't, the main focus we get in the story. There was lots of other things you could watch and enjoy from it. It didn't feel so out of place, where this now feels like they've lent into every kind of ideology, and they're saying now, this is the funny thing, I love when they do this, which is if you don't like it, don't watch it.
So what's been hilarious about this, one of the recent episodes has had some type of drag queen / trans person. They're called the Maestro. It's the replacement for the Master. And it's like the cringe of this, the clips of this actor, right, has just been I can't bear it. I can't bear it, Nathan. And the actor said, in response to the backlash, for every, bigot, basically, I'm paraphrasing here, that they lose, they get 2 or 3 more people that love diversity. How's that working out for them? Well, we can see right here in terms of Doctor Who loses another 40k viewers, worst ratings. 400k viewers. And that's in addition to all the losses. Worst ratings of all time.
Which is crazy to think, because Doctor Who started off as a very weird show, and now the ratings are worse than it's ever been.
How's that working out for them, getting they'll get 2-3 more viewers for every viewer they lose who love diversity? No, this is the reality, and this is the proof, and there's evidence everywhere about this.
Yeah.
People do not love this type of diversity. This isn't actual diversity, right? This is mostly just anti-straight white men. That's
virtue signaling.
Yeah. But that's essentially what their diversity is. They called Black Panther the most diverse film ever, and it's that wasn't actually diverse, right? It's kind of comprised of predominantly one racial group. That's not diverse, right? They don't want diversity. What they actually is just less straight white men. That's what they mean by that, right? And people are getting fed up with this racist, sexist ideology. That's what it comes down to. And also, they're getting fed up because this might be surprising to you, Nathan. Most people in the world are not gay.
That's a spicy take.
It's spicy. I know. It's shocking. It's shocking. And there is a very strong caused kind of result of that with the fact that most people are straight. For instance, I'm a straight man, right? You know what I'm going to say.
I
don't
know
you?
what you're going to say. I'm preparing myself for
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Well, as a straight man, I'm not attracted to men. Okay? There was a movie called Bros. Have you heard of Bros?
Yeah, you've mentioned it.
Yeah,
yes.
the gay rom-com
Yeah.
that has explicit,
Yeah, I'm good.
gay sex
I'm good.
in it, right? How could they be surprised that straight people, straight guys especially, right, are not into that? But they are, and they think that, everyone loves it. No. Straight people, right, they don't care if there's a gay character or not. Dumbledore, he was gay, don't care, okay? You're about to say something.
No, just we keep going with your point, and then
Yeah.
I'll...
What turns people off is the gay sex, basically, right? And also leaning into the flamboyant nature of it, where it seems like they're trying to make these characters completely defined by their sexual, LGBT, whatever status, right? When that does a disservice to the character as an individual, okay? People are far more than their sexual preferences. But that's all it comes down to, and they have to make sure it's promoted and seen and pushed. That's the main thing you need to know about this character, first and foremost. Nothing else that's interesting that might be want to know about the character or them as an individual. No, it's the sexual orientation. This turns people off. Most people, okay? I know there are some that love it, everything, those are more activist types of people.
Yeah, but I've also seen recently, like they're saying younger generations now, it's funny, they're abstaining more from alcohol. So wineries and other places are freaking out, but they're also looking for more wholesome, less overly sexualized content in general. So shows like Euphoria, younger people are just like, I don't want to watch this. This makes me feel gross. It's at a place, it's unnatural. They want
What's
more
Euphoria?
wholesome.
I don't know that one.
It's this, Zendaya gross. It's like high school, but they're all adults and
I know,
sleeping
like
with each other and doing stuff.
The degeneracy
Yeah.
in media where just have sex with anyone
Exactly.
and everyone and everything, and it's all celebrated and it's all wonderful because you have be attracted to whatever you
Yeah.
want, basically.
Yeah.
Has gone off the rails.
And people are sick of it.
Yeah.
People are
because
sick of it.
The reality is, most people are straight. That's it.
Well, people aren't overly, like, when you watch a TV show, especially when you're watching things with family, the last thing you want to do is watch a sex scene with your parents.
There's that as well.
There's so many...
So kids aren't going to be watching it.
You come home from work and go, oh, yes, Euphoria, I love watching this. Like, some people sure like that, but a lot of people are just like, I want wholesome, good media that uplifts me and doesn't make me feel gross or weird or whatever. Like...
I mean, there's also that natural reality that straight people, they're more easily they can identify easier and get invested in stories about like love interest and everything between men and women. Okay, and people do imprint themselves on characters. The character doesn't need to look like you. Like people identify with Wall-E, and he's a flipping robot, right? And even the relationship between Wall-E and Eva, I was invested in. But it's easy to understand that type of relationship because it has the dynamics, men and women, male, female, and stuff. Okay, and I'm not saying that straight people can't be invested in like a gay romance, stuff like that. But if you want to acknowledge reality, and this is reality, it's going to be harder for straight people to get invested in that because they don't like when people when I was reading Spider-Man, right, I was invested in Peter Parker getting with Mary Jane because Mary Jane was hot and there was that kind of wish fulfillment fantasy and you're living through Peter's shoes, right? And you don't experience, but you kind of get this weird kind of secondhand experience going through the character and stuff like that, right? If Peter Parker was trying to get with Flash, right,
You'd be less inclined to read
less
it.
inclined to, because I'm not gay. I'm not interested in, going through an experience of courting a man, right?
Yeah.
This is normal reality. Yet, people will attack us and call us bigots for just pointing out simple truth like this. And they already have done that, by the way. Yeah. Okay? And it's because they've gone insane. They're denying reality, and acceptance and tolerance, right, isn't enough. It's not enough that I'm perfectly happy to be friends with gay people, everything like that. You need to celebrate it like they are celebrating in Doctor Who. Yeah. You need to push it and put it everywhere, okay? And I don't know about you, but I think, traditional relationships are good for humanity.
Yep.
The nuclear family, raising children, really important.
It is just traditional values, I think, in general, especially as time goes on and things get more harder for people. I think having those traditional support groups are also really essential.
Yeah. Yeah, like marriage needs to be protected more now. Traditional marriage.
Family
than
in
ever
general.
before. You need to incentivize men marrying women and women marrying men. So we can encourage families to grow, the human race to continue prospering and stuff like that. That's what traditional marriage used to be, when marriage was just between a man and a woman. That was the institution that gave certain protection and privileges to the union that fosters the creation of life. And I think that being the foundation of the human race should be the thing that we celebrate.
But going back to Doctor Who, I just feel like they've no longer become a smart, fun show that has fandom. It is now just a giant virtual signaling propaganda machine. That's exactly basically all they are now.
That's it. The showrunner, it's like he is gone crazy, taken off the leash, because he was the original showrunner, but it seemed like he had constraints and he was focused on good stories. Now, he just wants to push his identity.
Yep.
Okay, and his propaganda, and that's the forefront thing. And not only is it turning people off, it seems to be having a really negative detriment on the quality of storytelling as well. I encourage people to watch Disparu's reviews of Doctor Who, right? That Doctor Who, the character, is pathetic now. And he doesn't even feel like the Doctor. Even that singing thing, right? The Doctor always had this kind of separation and aloofness to him because he was the wandering god. He was the Time Lord. He had such a long life and such a different perspective on life and reality that he had trouble connecting with people. Now here's the LGBT swinging, singing Doctor. Yay! And it doesn't feel like Doctor Who at all.
Yeah. For me, it's just the fact that the writing's changed now. Obviously, there's been some episodes I've seen of them talking down to one particular character who is an example of someone else in the real world to make an example of them. Like, it just feels like there's no longer any good story. There's no good characters. Like, Doctor and Rose, that whole arc with them and with Donna, with all... Like, the fact that they did the anniversary and it was just... dropped the ball in so many regards. It just...
They brought David Tennant back just to emasculate him.
Exactly. That, like, I didn't watch that because that was just... Those few scenes that I saw online... I mean... was enough.
I watched some episodes of the Jodie Whittaker stuff and it was enough to check me out.
Yeah.
This is dead to me. It has just fallen off the rails. And Capaldi, it was getting worse because there were some really bad warning signs. Like there was a line from River Song to the Capaldi Doctor where she says... What's that? I'm paraphrasing because I remember. I was like, what's that expression you're making? Oh, you're thinking. Stop, you're a man. It doesn't suit you.
Yeah. Stuff like that where it's like...
Stuff like that where it's just... Like, if that was reversed, they would be crying bloody murder. But no, because women have been taken... Like, they perceive that only women... jokes at their expense have been made. Even though they missed that jokes at men's expense, you know. But now they want to reverse it, and because they were the ones who were pushing, sexism is bad, unless we do it against men, then it's fine, right?
Yeah. Either way, just it's no longer enjoyable to watch. It's no more exciting or fun. There's no clever writing.
Even with Capaldi, there was like entire episodes dedicated to pushing capitalism bad.
Yeah.
Right. And the activism was sneaking in already, and of course the agenda, the LGBT agenda, because then they had the gay relationship between the lizard and her helper and stuff like that as well. The lizard lady. I'm not sure if you got that far into it. And so they're always pushing it, and they've gone off the cliff in terms of because those things are like you could almost tolerate, but people are getting to a point where it's now zero tolerance. If they see any of it, they just checked out because they're fed up.
Well, that's the whole thing. There is no other content like what you said before with Captain Jack. It's like that was the side part piece of a whole story. Now the whole meal is just this big virtual signal that you have to eat and enjoy. And like they say, if you don't like it, then don't partake of it.
I mean, and it's also pushing pronoun ideology. That Maestro character, like they already had it with the special where they brought David Tennant back, right? It's like, why are you assuming this alien's pronouns, right? And then this drag queen, horrendous looking person, right? And I don't know why drag people purposely go out of the way to make themselves look repulsive. Like
I don't think they try, Shad. I think that's just the result of
the makeup goes so far that it's just like, and I know it's this flamboyant thing, but it's like they're doing it on purpose. So I don't get it. All right.
I think a lot of this has come from the fact that it's all being produced by the BBC as well.
Oh yeah, the BBC.
That is, I think.
Oh no, this is Disney now. Sorry,
but BBC is still partnered. So like. Two work companies together.
Oh yeah, I know. Marriage made in heaven, right? Disney is also pushing because their ideology and what the types of representation they want. Okay. But like pronoun ideology, right, is something that is hugely divisive. Okay, and it goes into like so many things about encouraging people to adopt other genders or even go outside the standard biological binary and stuff. And then it is also very against many religious beliefs. You know, God made male and female. Pretty explicit in the scriptures right there. And so a lot of people are completely checked out on any pronoun, you know, propaganda. Okay. And I actually feel it's very inappropriate for children. Now, I'll teach my children about, you know, people who want to believe different things, live different lifestyles. That's their choice. And I say people are entitled to believe what they want. Okay. But they can't force that belief on others. That's the key right there. And this type of stuff being put in Doctor Who, this is supposed to be a family-friendly show. It's done in part because they want kids to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay? And they want kids to start to believe that there are more than two genders. That's the reason they put it in. It's not about representation. They have said explicitly, they're here, they're queer, they're coming for the children. All right? And so this is just another point of the LGBTQ... I say agenda, but there are a lot of LGBT people that are not on board with this stuff. We have a decent amount of LGBT people who watch our content, and they agree with us.
Yeah.
Okay? And so these activists, these extremists are giving a really bad look to just normal gay people who just want to live their lives and they're not concerned about gender, you know, preferences and stuff like that, or sexual they don't push that as their main identity. They're just normal people who are gay. And they see this stuff and they get really upset when they see it targeting children. Yeah. There's this like group movement called Gays Against Grooming, I think, that are trying to push back against this. So these extremists are giving the LGBT community such a horrible look. And the unfortunate thing, there actually seems to be more and more extremists pushing this stuff. Okay, that the reasonable LGBT kind of community are getting drowned out. Yeah. So the whole takeaway, of course, is the evidence that, yeah, people are not on board with it. So much so, worst ratings of all time. And this is not because the Doctor's black or anything like that, okay? It's because the writing is crap and the agenda is obnoxiously pushed into people's faces, and it's failing. And oh look, Doctor Who was already dead. This is just bastardizing the corpse, basically. It's pretty sad because classic, you know, Doctor Who was great.
It was.
I mean, I really loved it. But then, yeah, truly dead. It'll be cancelled because the views are just going to be cratering through the floor. They might get 2 seasons because I think they already, you know, greenlit it, but it's done.
I mean, I hope that they kind of just cancel it and let it, you know, simmer for a bit and bring it back in a couple of decades and things have died down. But I'm also concerned the fact that they're doing so much checkbox stuff that could very easily just renew it for more.
You know,
they're
not after making money, they're after pushing, you know, media that has the agenda. We see it all the time, adaptation, and they're starting to lose money, though. Well, we'll see how it goes, because that's what we do. Stay on watch.